Learn English. Learn it. You get money in America. This isn't you getting money in America. Learn English. I don't give a learn it. Learn it. You riding on the roads, learn English. Motherfucker. Talk about that shit. Learn English. Learn English. Learn English. Learn English. This ain't country. This ain't your country. Learn English. Learn English. This ain't your country. Fuck you. Fuck you, boy. You better learn English. Hey, hey. Learn English.
Disfrutando, no entiendo ni madre lo que me está diciendo.
Hello everyone. So the migrant posted that video on his TikTok account and it got over 20 million views as of this recording. And that happened just a few days ago. A ton of people are reacting to it and it's being reported by various local stations. But what I find interesting is that it hasn't been reported at a large scale by the mainstream media. It's not convenient for them to report on it because the store owner is a black man. Let's face it, that's the truth. In fact, even these black TikTokers are struggling to call the store owner a racist, again, because he's black. And if it was a white man, then America would have exploded by now with protests in Washington, D.C., and maybe even other states. Washington, D.C. is where the store is located. Hell, even Whoopi Goldberg would have had a meltdown, and ignorant Sonny would have had a panic attack on national television. So to me, it's very ironic how the double standards shine again thanks to these liberals. However, the ones calling him a racist, for the most part, are the Latinos that drool over stories like this. And that's why I'm telling you guys, please do not engage in any violent or harassing behavior towards migrants. Actually, you shouldn't do that towards anyone. But if you encounter a migrant anywhere, do not engage in any violent behavior. Number one, we cannot generalize everyone. Now, this is being investigated as a hate crime. Imagine that. Number two, you do not know where they are coming from or what type of track record they have. You may be putting yourself in harm's way. Number three, remember that our battle is with the federal government. They are the ones that allowed this. And even that battle is being done peacefully at the polling booth. The owner's approach was wrong. What he should have done is finalize the transaction, let the migrant go peacefully, and then use his First Amendment right and go on social media and say, hey, a lot of these migrants do not want to learn the language, and I'm frustrated by it. I'm sure the reception would have been a lot different. We've seen a lot of us Latinos say, hey, you guys need to learn the language. We did it, so can you. Furthermore, if you tell me that I should learn English in order to have a better chance at succeeding here in America, I wouldn't see that as racism. To me, that would be common sense. But I know that libtards are going to say, oh, America doesn't have an official language at the federal level. Yes, guys, this is the type of delusion we're dealing with. And that's why I'm telling you, do not engage in any violent behavior towards migrants, because you will give these social justice warriors exactly what they want, which is to feed their victim mentality. Nevertheless, remember, there's always two sides of a story. Thus far, we've only heard the migrant's side. Subsequently, the migrant has been doing various interviews where he is saying how scared he is to go back to work because he is traumatized over this. Additionally, he stated that he even called his mommy in Venezuela and she told him to come back because they are all scared now. Well, if I were him and I would have been here for around 2 years now, I would not be posting ridiculous TikTok videos, lip syncing to Spanish songs. I would be using that time to learn the English language as much as possible. And although him posting those videos does not mean that he's not studying English at all, but I wouldn't be doing that. More importantly, that does not excuse the owner's erratic behavior. Let's have some common sense. Two wrongs don't make a right. And remember, we are on the right side of history. That being said, let's get started. Okay, so first, let's go over some reports. This one is in Spanish, and the journalist is saying that authorities are investigating this as a possible hate crime. And he's describing what happened during the now viral video. And, well, we watched that video in the intro already, so I'm going to paraphrase, okay? I don't have to do this word for word, just so you get the main point. So here he is showing the video again, and well, I'll let you listen to it.
You get money in America. This isn't you getting money in America. Learn English. I don't give a learn it. Learn it. You riding on the roads, learn English.
He said he's a Venezuelan migrant. His name is Gregorio, and he's here with us. So, how do you feel? She says, we want you to tell us exactly what happened when you came into this restaurant, when he started yelling at you. Well, I go there to pick up an order. He works for Uber Eats. So there was his pet was there, his dog was there. The dog was barking at me. So I tell the owner when he was going to give me the order to get close to me because I was scared of the dog. And so that's when he started to yell at me and scream at me. So the journalist says, you've been here for 2 years, correct? And this is the first time you have encountered this situation. Now, there's something else that happened after the video, but you didn't record it, right? Was there something else? So he was very angry, the owner. What happened afterwards? Certainly, after I stopped recording and the owner takes the food away from me, the order away from me, he took advantage that I was not recording anymore, and then he took the order away. So the journalist says, so when you left the business, what was your reaction? What did you do? He says, after I left, I did not want any problems. But when he took the order away from me, that's when I called the police. So they're asking him, what happened? What type of responses did you get? So he says, cops arrived. After 10 minutes, I showed them the video, and I told them I wanted to take legal action. So the cops went inside and they spoke to the owner, and the cops asked me what did I want to do, and I told them I wanted to sue. But the cops said that that doesn't really mean you can sue, the cops told me. So I asked the cops, what about my human rights? So the cops told me there's nothing they can do. It's better for me just to leave. So the journalist says Uber has told us that they no longer want to or will no longer do business with that store. Have you spoken to Uber? He says, no, I haven't. And here they're showing a statement from Uber. And they're going to go over it right now. So Uber says they are disgusted, if you will, by this behavior, and they support people from any ethnicity, and they do not support hatred on their platform. So that's part of the statement. And the migrant says, that's great that they said that, because that's why I recorded the video, so that I can get justice, and that's what we are going to get. Then there's this other report, and the journalist says, well, this is a viral video where the person that recorded it is being humiliated because he doesn't speak English. The journalist interviewed the migrant to get the full story. So here he says, yes, this video is getting a lot of attention on social media. So here's Gregorio the migrant, and he's sharing once again the story of how everything went down. And so he's saying, yes, if he was telling me things like if you want to be in this country, you have to speak English. He was insulting me. He was humiliating me. The journalist says that Gregorio has been working for Uber Eats for around 7 months. And now he says, I'm scared to go to work. I'm scared to deliver food because something worse can happen to me now. I'm scared. The journalist says that they tried to talk to the business owner. And we did go inside, but they didn't let us record. So we couldn't interview him at all. And then they said they called the business owner, but they haven't responded. The police says they are investigating this as a possible hate crime, according to a statement they sent us. So here the migrant says, I think I'm owed an apology. I don't deserve to be discriminated against. He should have treated me better. I've been through so much, he says. And well, here's the journalist saying that even the mayor of the city will be making a statement soon. And so Uber Eats will no longer work with this business. And here's another interview the migrant did with a TikToker, with a Spanish TikToker. So I'm going to translate for you. How are you? He says, good. So it was Uber Eats? Yes. He's sharing the story again and talking about the owner's pet, the dog.
America, this isn't you getting money in America. Learn English. I don't give a learn it.
So what was interaction like? We know you don't speak English, but this went out of control. This got out of control. He says, yes, his dog got close to me, so I got away. So I tell the owner to come close to me, but he wanted me to go close to him. So I tried to get close to him, and that's when this happened.
Hey, learn English.
He tells me all those things. I felt like I was going to explode. But I said, no, you're not like this. You're not violent. Let's be smarter. That's when I took out my phone and I told him to hit me. Okay, so you get out of the restaurant and what happens? I leave. I don't want any trouble. And he takes the food away from me. He takes the order away from me. And I got mad, but I didn't want to get violent. So I called the cops and I showed them what happened. I felt humiliated, discriminated against, but the cops told me there was nothing they can do. So I was sad. I called my mom and my wife. I told them what happened. And I left. I was crying because my mom was worried. Whenever something happens to me, I call my mom, he says. I'm not a criminal. I came here to work. And so I first thought about my daughter and my family. I want to work here and change my life. So later on, they called me, the cops called me, and that's when I spoke to them, and he gave me a case number, and they are looking into it. Well then, here are some reactions.
I know y'all probably saw that video about that man at the Canna coffee shop when the guy came in, the delivery driver came in, and I guess he didn't speak any English, and he came in to pick up an order, and the owner of the Canna coffee place started like screaming on him and stuff like that. I watched that video a couple times and I was just thinking, like, what is wrong with this guy? Like, how much English did the man need to speak to show you who he's picking up the order for? Like, I wish I could have seen the beginning of this interaction, because honestly, all he had to do was show a phone. You know what? Now, as I'm saying this, that's probably what sparked it. The guy probably came in and showed him the phone, and then oh boy, the owner had an attitude about that and was like, you don't know how to, but the way he was just like berating him, I really don't understand. And it's not funny, but I got a kick out of the delivery driver because he ain't know what the hell that man was talking about. He could tell he was being rude, but the way he was just standing there, like, I mean, I don't know what he was saying. The way he was saying it, I'm assuming he like, I don't know why he's so mad. He's saying something about me not speaking English, but I really don't know what he's talking about. Because also, this man is screaming him down. And you know how when people are speaking in a foreign language and they're talking fast, you can't understand anyway. So he probably really didn't even understand what that guy was talking about while he was...
Oh, she got a kick out of it. Now imagine if the store owner was a white man. I am confident their reaction would have been extremely different.
Yelling at somebody to speak a colonizer's language as a black man? Y'all, we've lost. We've lost the fucking plot. Yelling at somebody to speak English when the creators of English, the whites, the European whites, don't even think we speak English properly? For years, European Americans did not think that the way that black people spoke was proper English, was sufficient English. Habitual B, saying ax instead of ask. Like, black people have been rejected from jobs, etc. because of the way that we speak English. You think it's cute to go and talk about somebody else not speaking English? Talking about this ain't your country, speak English. Baby, I have some really bad news for you. It's not our country either. And this is why I hate entrepreneurs. People that own their own business, bro. Because the moment that they own their own business, they start acting like European Americans, okay? They act like they're better than everybody. Capitalism gets to their head and rots it. I know the colonizers are ecstatic in their graves. I know Christopher Columbus is kicking his feet right now. Because imagine colonizing a group of people, forcing them to speak a language, and then generations later, the ancestors of those same people that you colonized are forcing other people to speak your language that you forced them to speak. We've lost. Oh, God.
Wow. The level of ignorance of that one. Let's just move on.
Hey guys, I just wanted to give you guys an update for those who have been following along with the situation with the racist business owner in DC. As you guys can see, DC police are now investigating if this was a hate crime, and this is thanks to everybody that has shared, reposted, commented, liked the videos and everything. I do want to show you guys a clip from the news video that this reporter put out, because I want to show you guys the insanity and the things that Greg said to him, I was dumbfounded. Like, you cannot expect anything less from this man. Let me show you guys.
This afternoon, we showed up to Canna initially with no camera or mic. Outside the shop, I explained to Greg Harris that we wanted to hear his side of what happened. Harris refused. While speaking to his colleague, the business owner came back out only to flip off our camera and tell his colleague to stop speaking to me.
Now, I want to make one thing clear. This was not an ambush interview, which is why I spoke to Greg Harris face-to-face without a camera at first. Mr. Harris said he would speak if we sent a black reporter or if we paid him. I told him we don't pay for interviews. We didn't pay Gregorio today to speak to him. Mr. Harris said that if I can speak English, then why can't the delivery driver? He also told me that what I should be doing is giving the delivery driver English classes.
Like I said, crazy. And I'm sure everybody can agree, but unfortunately, this is just who this person is, you know?
The whole thing is a mess, and the social justice warriors love these type of stories. Now, Gregorio even had one of these left-wing TikTokers give him $5,000. I mean, this is what I'm telling you guys. They're drooling over this story. I'm not even going to translate that because I don't want to waste my time nor yours.
Canna has been shut down. I know you guys can't read that little paragraph right there, so I'm going to read it to you. On September 11th, DC Health conducted a complaint inspection of Canna. Following their investigation, they issued a summary suspension which led to the immediate closure of the establishment until further notice. This was before the whole situation happened. Despite this notice, the cafe continued to operate in violation of the order. As of September 18th, yesterday, Canna has officially been shut down by DC Health with the support of Metro PD. All I have to say is bad things happen to bad people, and karma is real. If Greg had not done what he did, he might have been able to continue to run this restaurant despite the suspension without anybody knowing. But he brought this negative light to himself, which caused him to get shut down.
But the update from that TikToker that said the business has been shut down is actually accurate.
The DC Health Department has temporarily shut down Canna Coffee in Adams Morgan. And this is the same restaurant at the center of a viral TikTok video capturing the owner's racist rant against an Uber Eats driver for speaking Spanish. Is this closure because of that viral video?
It is not, Megan. We were told the health department's investigation started long before this video, but this is the latest development in what has been a troubling few months for the restaurant.
As customers flock in and out of various Adams Morgan businesses, one restaurant remained empty Thursday. The D.C. Department of Licensing and Consumer Protection and the D.C. Department of Health have temporarily shut down Canna Coffee, providing a statement saying, as a part of a multi-agency enforcement effort, D.C. government has been investigating Canna Coffee and has ordered that the business cease operations. We continue to work with law enforcement and community partners to protect the health and safety of all D.C. residents. MPD is now investigating this as a possible hate crime, though no arrests have been made.
It was my first time going to pick up an order at that restaurant. I felt, wow, terrible, humiliated, upset. I felt awful because I came to this country simply to work. I didn't come here to hurt anybody.
7 News has learned both Uber and DoorDash have removed Canna Coffee from their apps. So far, the business has not sent out any statement regarding a closure or viral video. Certainly tumultuous times ahead for this restaurant.
Well, Jim and Angie, right when you see this viral video, you can't help but wonder, is this really real? So many people say that they were trying to decipher whether it was serious or staged. Well, I spoke with the Uber food delivery driver who told me it's not a joke, so he filed a police report. He believes he was discriminated against because he's Latino.
Porque fue lo primero que se me vino a la mente. Pensé que...
Gregorio is telling Fox 5 his natural instinct was to start recording to protect himself because the situation was quickly escalating and it was very uncomfortable.
Me hace sentir humillado, frustrado.
He says there was no need for him to be treated so disrespectfully. He moved to this country from Venezuela to get ahead in life and help his family. The intense interactions continues for an entire minute and ends with the owner shoving a bag of food at Gregorio's chest.
Just to be clear, guys, I do not have any confirmation that this migrant crossed over the border illegally or he came through a proper port of entry. But we do know that he came under the Biden and Harris administration, probably seeking asylum. So I just wanted to mention that in this video. It is important to mention that we have heard how some of these migrants work with the Uber Eats and DoorDash apps and are driving without a driver's license or a proper registration. But again, I do not know if that's the case here. I do not have any confirmation. He did not specify whether he did or not. But I do want to hear your thoughts about this. So let me know your reaction in the comment section below. Do not forget the shout outs for my amazing members and supporters are down below. Smash the like button, subscribe, and share this video with at least one person. I'll see you guys next time.